Every single day, more than $7 trillion move through the global financial system. Most of those dollars never even touch American soil.
Yet they help buy oil, build factories, move goods across oceans, and keep entire economies running.
How did one country's currency become the language of global money? To answer that question, we must go back to a moment that changed the world forever.
Almost every country has its own currency. Japan has the yen. Europe has the euro. The United Kingdom has the pound. China has the yuan.
So here's the question. If every nation prints its own money, why doesn't the world use all of them equally? Why does one currency sit at the center of the global financial system? The answer isn't just economics. It's one of the greatest stories in modern history. In the 1940s, the world was at war. Cities were destroyed. Factories stopped. Entire economies collapsed. But while Europe faced devastation, one country emerged stronger than ever before: the United States. Its factories were producing at record levels. Its economy was booming. And most importantly, America held more gold than any nation on Earth. The balance of global economic power had changed. The world needed a new financial system. So, in July 1944, representatives from 44 nations gathered in New Hampshire. The place where they met would change money forever. Bretton Woods. July 1944. In a quiet mountain town called Bretton Woods, 44 nations gathered behind closed doors. No one outside knew history was about to change. There were no cameras and no television broadcasts. Yet the decisions made inside that building would shape the global economy for generations. The world had endured two devastating wars: economic collapse and financial chaos. No country wanted to experience that destruction and uncertainty again. The delegates faced one simple but enormous question. How could they build a financial system that every country in the world could trust? Their answer changed history. The United States dollar would become the center of a completely new global monetary system. Every participating currency would be linked to the dollar, while the dollar itself would remain convertible into gold at a fixed value. That same conference also created two institutions that still influence the global economy today: the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. The world finally had a common financial language. But the system created at Bretton Woods would not last forever. For nearly 3 decades, the system worked. The US dollar was linked to gold, and much of the world linked its currencies to the dollar. But behind the scenes, a serious problem was growing. As global trade expanded, more and more dollars began circulating around the world. Eventually, there were more dollars in circulation than the United States could realistically redeem with the gold stored inside its reserves. Governments began exchanging their dollar holdings for gold. As gold bars left American vaults, pressure on the country's reserves continued to increase. Then, on August 15, 1971, President Richard Nixon made an announcement that changed the global financial system forever.
The United States suspended the dollar's convertibility into gold. The world's most important currency was suddenly no longer directly backed by gold.
Many expected the system to collapse. It did not. Trade continued, banks remained open, markets moved, and the world kept using the dollar. Something even stronger than gold had taken its place. The entire global financial system was now supported by one powerful force: trust. But trust alone does not explain why the system survived. By 1971, the global economy had already been built around the dollar. Trade contracts, bank loans, financial markets, and central bank reserves were connected to it. Replacing the dollar now meant rebuilding an entire financial network. Imagine a company in Japan buying raw materials from Brazil. Neither side may want to accept the other country's currency. They choose a currency both already understand. Both can exchange easily, and both believe another business will accept tomorrow. Most often, that currency is the US dollar. It acts as a common financial language between businesses that may otherwise share no currency. The same system reaches into the most basic needs of modern life. Major commodities, including benchmark crude oil, are commonly quoted in dollars. Countries importing energy, therefore, need reliable access to dollar funding. Without dollars, paying for oil, fuel, and other essential imports becomes more difficult. That is one reason central banks hold dollar reserves. They use them to pay for imports, meet foreign debts, and support their currencies. They also keep those reserves for financial emergencies. In 2024, the dollar represented roughly 58% of disclosed global foreign exchange reserves. But the dollar offers something else that few currencies can match: an enormous financial market with exceptional depth and liquidity. Governments, banks, and investors can move vast amounts of money quickly. This makes dollar assets easier to buy, sell, borrow, and use as collateral. In the foreign exchange market, the dollar appeared on one side of almost 9 out of every 10 trades in 2025. This creates a powerful loop. Businesses use dollars because banks provide them, while banks provide dollars because businesses continue demanding them. Central banks hold dollars because the rest of the world keeps using them. Each part of the system reinforces every other part. In a strange way, the dollar remains powerful partly because it is already powerful. But no financial crown is guaranteed forever. Today, the world is changing again. New economic powers are rising, and countries are exploring more trade using their own currencies. At the same time, digital payment systems are expanding, connecting banks, businesses, and consumers through faster alternatives to traditional financial networks. Does this mean the dollar will disappear? Not necessarily. A changing world does not automatically mean the existing system will vanish. The dollar remains deeply woven into global trade, international financial markets, commercial banking, government borrowing, and central bank reserves. Replacing a global financial system is far more difficult than replacing a single currency. Every connection, contract, and institution must also change. History shows that trust takes decades to build. Once established across generations, it may also take years, or even generations, to shift. The most powerful export America ever created was not simply a currency. It was a global system built on widespread trust. And perhaps the biggest question is not whether the dollar will eventually lose its place at the center of global finance. The bigger question is what governments, markets, businesses, and ordinary people around the world will choose to trust next. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more in-depth, authentic and well-researched information about finance, economies, and businesses, subscribe to General Finance Headquarters. See you in next episode.